guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Sandra and I'm a nurse practitioner, and today I want to take you in the dollar store to show you all the great medical supplies you can get for $1. A lot of these things are so handy. You can make a first aid kit out of them, you can keep them in your car, or if you have to do a dressing change. There are just so many great medical supplies at the dollar store that are so much cheaper than buying it at a drugstore or even a medical supply store. So today I'm going to take you in Dollar Tree and show you all of the things that I would even recommend if you came to see me in the emergency room. So I hope this video is helpful to you and saves you some money. So they have antifungal creams, foot powders. This is a name brand Arm & Hammer foot powder. I think it's $5 at Target and it was $1 here. This is comparable to the generic antifungal cream you can get at any drugstore. They have a bunch of different insoles that you can put in your shoes and try them out for more comfort. Petroleum jelly, or otherwise known as Vaseline, handy to keep around. A&D cream for diaper rash. We often recommend these kind of barrier creams for babies that come to the ER with diaper rash. This cream here is a 40% zinc oxide, which is a great barrier cream and healing cream for diaper rash. So that's a great purchase for $1. And then they have a generic version of Pedialyte. These are generic children's acetaminophen, or otherwise known as Tylenol, but the concentration is exactly the same as Tylenol. These are children's cough medicine, but we don't recommend them in younger children. And then here we have liquid diphenhydramine, which is comparable to Benadryl. It's actually the exact same concentration, and adults can use this too. So I know my mom has severe allergies and she likes to use the liquid if she's having a strong reaction because it absorbs faster than the pills. And then they had these cute little ice packs. They're reusable. My son loved them. He wanted the soccer ball. But yeah, this was something I hadn't seen before. They're super cute and you can just keep them in your freezer. Okay, these are great if you have eczema or your child has eczema. It's basically an oatmeal bath and it's very soothing to the skin and can lessen the itching associated with eczema. Okay, so baby oil you can use as a moisturizer in a bath for a baby or an adult. You can use it to remove a ring that may be stuck on the finger. It'll help loosen it up. Or you can apply it on top of a bandage that's really stuck and soak it off, and it's actually a lot nicer for the kids to remove a bandage that way. So these pregnancy tests I think may be the single most value in the whole store. When I was pregnant, I used this test and it came back positive right away, and I didn't believe it because it was the dollar store. So the next day I went and spent $16 on a pregnancy test from Walgreens, and it was positive again, so I should have just trusted this one. So these ovulation kits are nice if you have irregular periods and you're trying to get pregnant. They will help you pinpoint your ovulation window. And so, yeah, it's a great deal for $1. Okay, and then they have these large pads, which you can use for a number of reasons. You can use them in children at night. You could use them if you've just delivered a baby and you're having heavy bleeding. They're just very large and absorbent, and they can collect a lot of fluid. And then they have a whole bunch of different feminine products, some name brand, as you can see here, but just really handy if you have bladder incontinence or just even for your regular period. They have a bunch of different hand sanitizers, which is in high demand right now, so for $1, it's a good deal. These ones here are travel wipes, so they're handy if you're on the go. So they do also carry some name brand over-the-counter medications such as Advil, Tylenol, Aleve. These ones are in smaller amounts. They come in 2-packs or 6-packs, so they're handy if you want to keep them in the car, but you'll get a larger quantity with the generic. Some pocket-sized Purell hand sanitizer. They carry these pill cutters, which are handy if you are taking care of elderly and the pills are too large. They also carry earplugs, which are handy to protect your ears from loud noises. They also are handy if you need them to sleep. They also have these great little pill organizers, which if you're taking a lot of pills can be a big job to keep organized. So these are handy for that. So this Assured brand is basically generic medications. So this is the equivalent of Benadryl, and it's used as a sleep aid. A lot of people use it for sleeping. These nasal strips are actually great to help open up your sinuses if you are having sinus trouble or you have a cold and your sinuses are swollen. They'll help you breathe more easily. And this was another sleep aid. This one has melatonin in it. So most of the medications at the Dollar Tree are this Assured brand, which is basically a generic version of these cheaper medications. So acetaminophen. So this would be equivalent to Tylenol PM. Same with this one here. And then they have a whole bunch of different aspirins. Aspirin in general is a very cheap medication, but all of these medications at the dollar store are going to be even a little bit cheaper than you would get them at, let's say, Target or Walgreens, because these are just cheap medications in general, and any store can mark them whatever they want. So some stores will try to make a few more dollars, but at the Dollar Tree, they are all $1. And then here you have generic ibuprofen. So 200 milligrams, which is pretty standard for ibuprofen. They also have some liquid gels as ibuprofen. And then they have a lot of cough and cold medications. So this is a chest rub that you can just rub on and it will ease some of that pain from coughing. So some medication to help relieve mucus. Some other medications to help with pain associated with cold. Some cough medicines. These are equivalent to Robitussin, is what it says on the bottle. So yeah, for $1, these are great options for cough and cold medication because it's basically the same as you would get at other stores, just a little bit cheaper. They have some nasal sprays here if you're having nasal congestion. That's equivalent to Afrin. They have a saline spray here as well. Bunch of different sinus relief medications. A lot of different cough drops. So just some things to help you get over that cold. This is their generic version of Benadryl, so diphenhydramine, but basically the same as Benadryl. It comes in 25 milligrams. And then this would be the comparison of Zyrtec. They have this antacid here, which is basically calcium carbonate. Hemorrhoid cream, and this is pretty equivalent to any generic hemorrhoid cream. So you will find with a lot of these medications that the quantity may be smaller than what you would pay at a drugstore, and that may be why it's much cheaper. But otherwise, it is probably a better deal to get it here at the dollar store. This would be equivalent to like a rub-on Benadryl for itch. This is a hydrocortisone cream, so we often recommend this in the ER as a short-term relief for itching or poison ivy, those kinds of things. This is a triple antibiotic ointment, so this would be the equivalent of a Neosporin. If you have a small infection, this is a great topical antibiotic. This is a psoriasis cream. Here is another hydrocortisone cream. So you only want to use these short term, only a few days, maybe up to a week. So this is a mag citrate that you can get at drugstores for a couple of dollars more. We often give this to patients in the ER for constipation, and by the time they're home, they have relief. So it works pretty fast. They carry a bunch of different kinds of bandages in all different shapes and sizes. They have these handy little gauze pads, so if you have to do a dressing change at home on an abscess or over top of sutures, these are great to pick up. These bandages here have some antibacterial properties. These cotton swabs are great for gentle cleaning around the ear or around a newborn baby umbilicus. These pads are good for dressing changes. You can layer them up and put them over top of the wound, tape it down, and you're good to go. They have some cotton balls, which you could use for cleaning. I don't usually like cotton balls because they can leave some fibers in the wound, but just to know that they're there. Some more gauze pads here, which you can use as a dressing or for cleaning around a wound. Some waterproof bandages. These are some elastic bandages, so for a sprained wrist or an ankle, these are handy, or just to hold a larger bandage in place. Here's another version of them. Then they have a whole bunch of different kinds of tape, paper tape, athletic tape, waterproof tape. I mean, it's a pretty good variety of tape that they carry. Some more elastic bandages. These gauze rolls are handy for dressing changes on a leg or an arm. You just wrap them right around over top of the dressing. Then they have these eye drops, which are good for dry eyes. They also carry a bunch of different topical analgesics for muscle pain. So this one has menthol in it. And if you just have some achy muscles, they have a whole bunch of different patches and rubs and different topicals for that kind of pain. Here they have rubbing alcohol, which is great for cleaning skin or surfaces. Epsom salt, which is good to do a bath to soak your muscles and relieve some aches that way. These I hadn't seen before, but they're a rub-on essential oil. So if you have a headache or sore muscles, you can rub those on. They have a bunch of different kinds. And then they have some knee braces and some heat wraps for comfort, for sore muscles. This cream is equivalent to a Bengay, which is for muscle pain. You can rub it on. And they have a whole bunch of different chapsticks and Vaselines that you can apply to your lips in this dry weather. They also have this oral analgesic, so if you have tooth pain or any kind of dental pain, that would be helpful. And here is a dental guard if you grind your teeth, or if you need polygrip to secure your dentures in place, they also carry that. This is a spray bottle you can use to clean out your ears with some warm water. And these pads are good not only for puppy training, but you can also lay them on a bed for incontinence, especially in the elderly. They're very handy and they're super absorbent. They have your Lysol wipes, they have face masks. They have disposable gloves. If you want to make a first aid kit, pick up some tweezers to throw in it, and these are good for removing splinters or stings from insects. Also a pair of scissors to cut your dressings. I think a pencil case is a great container for your first aid kit. You could also use this clear plastic bag to put all your things in, or one of these cosmetic bags. They have these little pre-made first aid kits, but they only come with a few little things like bandages. And so I would recommend making your own, but for $1, this might be handy to keep in the car or in your purse. And then here's a different version here. This one has scissors in it. They carry some diabetic socks. The dollar store is a great place to pick up reading glasses. They have a bunch of different styles and colors and prescriptions. And my mom and my uncle swear by these. They buy 10 at a time, so they always have a pair on hand. Okay, so this location did not have everything I was looking for. It didn't have hydrogen peroxide. We did get a balloon. We always have to get a balloon when we're at the dollar store. It also didn't have the drug test, which I heard are pretty good and they're pretty accurate. And they're usually right next to the pregnancy tests, but this location didn't have them. So that's another thing. And then things like disposable gloves were out of stock, likely because of the pandemic. But I mean, I was actually surprised with some of the things that I found today that I hadn't seen before. So dollar stores or Dollar Tree is a great option to start if you need medical supplies for a simple dressing or wound. If you want to make a first aid kit, things like that. It's so much cheaper than buying it at a drugstore. All right, you guys, so if you like this video and you found it helpful, please give it a thumbs up. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell so you get all my new videos. Please share this video with someone who you think might benefit from it. And if you have any questions or comments, please leave them down below. All right, you guys, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.